Hello, Emilio.
Hello.
Ciao, how are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing very well. And you?
Very, very well. By the way, I'm very happy that we postponed of 1 hour our happy hour, because now it's 7 p.m. in my time and I can drink. But where is my glass? Here is my glass.
So you can really make it a happy hour. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So welcome to everybody. We have already 160 people with us in Zoom, and I suppose some more on the YouTube live. Yeah. Emilio.
Exponential increase. Yeah. Yes. You see. By the way, we need to clarify that this time will be the final and standard time of Dermoscopy happy hour. So every week it will be at 7 o'clock Central European time. And this was mainly convenient for us also, but this was also a request from many of you that wanted the live episode to start 1 hour later.
Yeah. So, what is the logic behind, Emilio? Maybe we have to repeat it for a few times until everybody knows. Emilio and I, we were missing our drinks together. And therefore, we are using this 1 hour to chat a little bit and also to share with you a little bit of fun, a little bit of relaxing time, speaking about our beloved dermoscopy. Right, Emilio?
Absolutely, but in a relaxed way, not in an official manner, not with presentations and the usual stuff. Very relaxed and open to any idea. And today we need to announce that we have a very special guest, don't we?
Yes, we have the best one.
The best one. Yeah.
Yes, one of our best friends, let's say so. Yeah, and but we will speak about him afterwards, right?
Yes, but let's say who he is, or we keep it as a surprise.
We keep it as a surprise, don't you think so?
Okay, let's keep it as a surprise.
Yeah. Let's keep it as a surprise. By the way, we start always with a question for you. Okay, now it's my time to give you the question. And the question, the question, since it's a question related to a specific paper I wanted to present you, it's composed by 2 questions actually. Okay, so 1 topic, 2 questions. First question, Sebbi. Imiquimod. Do you use imiquimod as a treatment of lentigo maligna instead of surgery? You can say yes, no, or sometimes, of course. So I would really like to get your opinion about it. What do you think, Emilio? What is
my prediction for the answer? Well, as usually, when you include the option sometimes wins. Because
wins because it's in the middle, it's a good way to not to be too strong, not to be extremist, right?
Yeah, so irrespectively of the question, sometimes is always the most probable answer to
yes, so I like the sometimes option. So Sebbi, are we ready for the result? Yes, of course. See, no is the most voted answer, and most voted by 52% of the people. So is the majority. Okay. Second question is, Sebbi, do you use imiquimod as an adjuvant treatment of lentigo maligna after surgery? Yes, no, sometimes. Let's see. So then we can foresee probably that no will be the winner, right?
Well, I think that sometimes here will prevail. That's my prediction.
This is your prediction. Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Let's see.
But I think that we will also have some yes responses here.
Yeah. Okay. So, Sebbi, let us know. Okay, yes is about 22%, no 49%, sometimes 29%. Okay, Good. So still sometimes a no is the most common option, the winner. Good. Okay. And this is a good introduction to the paper of the week. Seppi, you have to allow me to share the screen. We have to remember to do this stuff. That's the way Seppi is. Seppi is our director, right? And Seppi wants to launch the video announcing the paper. Okay. Now, Emilio, today I want to speak about your paper. Let's say our paper, let's say the paper you coordinated, which was a multi-center study on a quite a good number of lentigo malignancies, melanomas in situ. We know since several years that in very old patients or for very big lesions difficult to excise surgically, we as an alternative can use imiquimod, and we have quite a good probability of complete response after treatment with imiquimod. So, but it's just since few years, not more than a couple of years, that we, together with other groups in the world, we started to think that probably imiquimod can be used also as an adjuvant treatment. So you first do the surgery and then you complete the treatment with imiquimod. So instead of doing wide excision, you remained with the excision of the entire lesion, and then you use imiquimod. So we wanted to check if this the complete response of in this occasion is equivalent to the large excision, to the wide excision. So we subdivided.
By the way,
yes, sure, Emilio.
It's a bit more than a couple of years. Come on, it's like four.
Maybe four. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. In my view, the last 2 years were never happening. You know.
We just eliminate the last 2 years. And
exactly. So the title is Real-World Experience of Off-Label Use of imiquimod 5% as an adjuvant therapy after surgery or as a monotherapy for lentigo maligna. We put together how many cases, Emilio? I suppose it's here. It's 149 cases. Yes. And we subdivided these 149 lesions in 3 groups, actually, to make it simple. The first group was referred to the adjuvant treatment. So after surgery, actually, the first and the second group is the adjuvant, and the third group is the primary treatment. Okay, so first group 1 and group 2, we did surgery, either narrow or wide, and then we used imiquimod afterwards. And in group 3, we didn't use surgery; we just applied imiquimod. Okay, what are the results we got?
Difference. Maybe we should just clarify that the difference between group 1 and 2 was that in group 1, surgery was performed and histopathology reported clear margins, while in group 2, surgery was performed and histopathology reported involved margins. So that's why the second group is termed complementary treatment.
Exactly. So what we obtained is basically that the great majority of lesions that got the adjuvant treatment, so first surgery and then imiquimod, the great majority were free of disease after 32.5 months. So only 5.6% of the lesions were recurring, which is a very good result, let me tell you. And these kind of numbers are pretty similar to wide excision or even to Mohs surgery or a variation of the Mohs surgery, which is the, how is it called? Stage margin control surgery. So extremely close to the big surgeries. So it looks like we can start using imiquimod as an adjuvant treatment. Just as a confirmation of the several studies which were performed before, also in our sample, the treatment of the primary lesion without surgery, but with imiquimod, was successful in the great majority of cases. So only 6.2, right? 6.2% of the lesions were recurring, let's say, with wider margins, and 5.5 with narrower, right? So it's pretty close. So about 5 to 6%.
It didn't make any difference if your excision is in wider margins or in narrow.
Exactly. So this is basically what I wanted to share with you. And so in summary, I would say, and these are the conclusions of our study, is that, let me check where it is. Okay, it's here. Sorry, it's here. So, in conclusion, imiquimod is used in clinical settings in combination with conservative surgery for lentigo maligna, and the real-world experience is encouraging.
Absolutely. So, I think that in order to highlight better the clinical relevance of this discussion, and this is why we were motivated to collect our experience in a paper and publish it, is that we should remember that theoretically the treatment of choice for lentigo maligna, since it's a melanoma that recurs quite frequently because it grows peripherally beyond clinically visible margins. So if you want to achieve acceptable recurrence rates, then you have to do either very wide excisions, even if the tumor is in situ, so 1 centimeter excision.
1 centimeter,
And we are speaking about the face. We are not speaking about the back. So 1 centimeter on the face is quite a problem. Or alternatively, apply one of these staged margin control surgeries, which are procedures that don't take place at one time, but the multiple sequential times. In the meanwhile, you assess the margins if they are free or not, and then you continue.
Which is this is also called slow-mos.
Slow-mos, in fact, it's a slow-mos, which is demanding, obviously, in time and in costs and in morbidity also for the patients. So all this, given that lentigo maligna melanoma is a melanoma subtype that we know pretty well that it's the less aggressive one.
Definitely.
So, I mean, this combination of of a tumor which is not aggressive with a very aggressive treatment, something is wrong here, and that's the idea why we wanted to publish what we do during the last years. And of course, this is somehow related to the recent discussion about overdiagnosis. So, in my view, the solution to this problem is not to stop diagnosing lentigo maligna or to stop diagnosing basal cell carcinomas or to stop diagnosing tumors. The solution is to adjust our treatment recommendations, strategies, and guidelines to the biology of the tumors.
Exactly. This is a very good point, because there was a recent publication, maybe we could speak about it in one of the next episodes, about BCC. Someone suggested not to take care anymore about BCCs on the trunk, which, you are saying correctly. The point is not to take care or not to take care about them, but in order to adjust the treatment of these forms of cancers, which are less aggressive, with a less aggressive treatment. And this is obviously the most wise decision about it.
There are some questions in the chat about the dosage, the regimen that we use with imiquimod. So first of all, it's daily use and not 5 times per week or 3 times per week.
Sorry, we are speaking only about the 5% imiquimod, not
we are speaking only
75.
Only about the 5% imiquimod. And at least in the study, which reported what our centers do in practice, we use it 7 times per day. And in the adjuvant setting, we use it mainly for 6 weeks. Adjuvant setting, I repeat, means that the tumor is not there anymore. The tumor has been excised surgically in narrow margins. And then after the surgical excision, 6 weeks of imiquimod daily use. Now, in the scenario of using imiquimod as a monotherapy, because for some reason you decide not to do surgery at all, or it's impossible to perform surgery at all, then it's a completely different story. Then we need very, very long-term applications of imiquimod.
Which means 12 weeks on the average.
12 weeks and very possibly, again, 12 weeks afterwards. So long-term treatments, as far as you continue to see response and as far as you still see remnants of the lentigo maligna, you continue your treatment.
Very good. Perfect.
Very nice.
But I think you also prepared some cases related to this topic, right?
Very close to this topic.
Okay.
I would say that our episode today is devoted to lentigo maligna. Also, the podcast we will hear afterwards is related to lentigo maligna. So I share the screen now. We go to the case of the week, which is the one that I will show you right now. So before playing a little bit the game also with the audience,
yes,
Geppi, instinctively, do you think that this lesion is suspicious clinically?
Yes.
What about this one? Do you think that this is suspicious?
Yes.
What about if I show you the whole panel?
Okay.
Does it change anything? Do you still consider the lesion?
I think so. Yes. But there is a third one in my view on the left.
There is also a small third one. Yeah. Okay. So now let's see dermoscopy. And before commenting, me and you on dermoscopy, this is polarized light. This is non-polarized light. And here you can see the two lesions a little bit magnified on the left and on the right. So, Sebastiano, let's load my question number one. What do you see here? And here are your options.
Okay, lentigo maligna plus lentigo maligna, pigmented actinic keratosis plus pigmented actinic keratosis, solo lentigo plus solo lentigo, lentigo maligna plus solo lentigo. Well, yeah. Well, in my view, the less voted, I know what is the less voted.
You know which is the less voted? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see the results. Yeah.
Very good.
The less voted is solo lentigo plus solo lentigo.
Yes, because it's too optimistic, right?
Yes, but, well, if you are optimistic with one of these lesions, then you can be optimistic also with
the other one. Yeah, that's right.
Here you can play all or nothing. Okay, so of course you are correct. The morphology, the dermatoscopical is quite clear cut for lentigo maligna in both of these lesions. Now, the next point I would like to show you is to zoom in a little bit in the healthy skin. You see that it's a healthy skin. It's really two lesions.
Yeah.
It's two lesions, which is a little bit, strange or not. So why do we have two lentigo maligna melanomas developing in such a close proximity? We have in the past several times discussed about the field issue. If lentigo maligna represents also a kind of field damage, given that it is associated with cumulative chronic sun exposure.
Which I'm pretty sure is the case, right?
Yeah, it's very probable. It's very probable. Of course, the majority of lentigo malignas are solitary. It's not that the majority of them develop as multiple lesions, but this is quite interesting. Look at it. Two melanomas developing so close one to the other. Yeah, and this is the overall clinical aspect. Now, I have a second question now here for the audience, which is again the same two lesions. We agreed that they are both lentigo malignas. Now, my second question is in situ or invasive? Let's see the possible options. So both in situ, left in situ, right invasive, left invasive, right in situ, or both invasive. and that's not an easy answer.
Now that you ask, I'm looking a little bit more carefully.
Wait a moment.
No, of course, I don't say anything. And
in a minute, we will see the results. But before seeing the results, is this question relevant?
In this case, not so relevant.
I agree. Could this question be relevant in some scenarios? I would say yes. For example, if for some reason you have trouble supplying surgery and you're thinking about imiquimod as an alternative or radiotherapy as an alternative, then knowing if the tumor is inside or invasive is very, very crucial for your decision.
Sure. Let's see. Okay. Both in situ and left invasive and right in situ. The most voted with a prevalence of the third answer, 47%, with the left invasive. I suppose that we lost Emilio. Don't you think so, Seppi? Yeah. Yes, we lost Emilio for a moment. So we will remain with this doubt, you know. In my view, I agree with those who voted for the left one, which could be invasive, because there is an area with gray color where you don't see too well anymore the follicles. The follicles that usually lentigo maligna are free of disease. In that particular area on the left lesion, it could be that they were, let's say, invaded by the proliferation of melanocytes. But we have to wait, Emilio, to know the answer. No, well, Seb is asking if we have to go on. I would say that we wait for a moment about Emilio. Let me still say something about the points concerning. Let me see. The points concerning the treatment. So again, I would just make it sure that everything is clear. For the moment, the use of imiquimod in lentigo maligna is considered an off-label treatment, right? So we cannot do it without the speaking with the patient, maybe also obtaining his written consent that he agrees in doing this treatment. Having said that, I would say that definitely we should not be scared about using imiquimod in this context. Of course, we do not suggest to use imiquimod instead of surgery in a relatively young patient, for example, 60, 65, 70, 75. But when we are dealing with a large lesion like this, I don't know, like this, in a 90 or even more years old patient, why not use imiquimod instead of doing a big surgery? We could use imiquimod, maybe with not with the aim to let's say to get rid completely about the lesion, but also to control in some way the proliferation, the further proliferation of the lesion. In my view, so it's the treatment of the primary lesion is definitely, let's say, just for a limited number of patients with very elderly people with very big lesions. Okay, but in the context of adjuvant treatment, we use it as a rule today. Emilio is back. We use it as a rule today. We do a surgery of the entire lesion, clear margins, and then we use these 6 weeks imiquimod afterwards. So please do it, because this is just an adjunct of treatment, which will be definitely much better than doing a big surgery after the excision of the primary lesion. Emilio,
What can I say? What can I say?
No, I was speaking like a crazy for 5 minutes. Don't worry.
I'm sure that you can do it for much longer. But which was the result of the vote?
The vote, okay. They were voting as I would like to vote. So left, invasive, and right in situ. This was 47% of the votes.
Okay, that's great. And now would you like to say why you say so?
Yes, I also already told them, because I see gray color, which is in some way obscuring the follicles in some parts of the lesion on the left.
Perfect. And then I would just like to show this data that we have today, based on this study, that in lentigo maligna, this is the in situ pattern. So you see that the follicles are usually still visible and the pigmentation is surrounding the follicles. But when we see obliteration of the follicles or something like blotches or micro blotches, then this is a sign of micro invasion. Here we can see another lentigo maligna with a micro blotch, and blotch appears to be a sign of micro invasion. So if we go back to our two cases, as you said, there are in some areas blotches, so invisible follicular openings, and this is a sign for micro invasion.
Beautiful. There is a good question. How many days after surgery is recommended the use of imiquimod? I would say immediately after you make sure that the scar is completely recovered, you know? So let's say 15 days, 20 days after surgery. I would say so.
Yeah.
You, Emilio, you do the same?
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you have your wound, the primary healing is ready, then we start with imiquimod.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yes. So yes, I think this is a very nice clue that you showed concerning the possibility that the lentigo maligna was becoming lentigo maligna melanoma. That's why invasive melanoma. Is there any other clue, by the way? No, not really. Do we know the predictive value of this criterion? Meaning, when I see it, how can I be sure that this is corresponding to invasion? Pretty sure, or?
Yeah, pretty sure. So I don't remember precisely the odds ratio, but this was practically the only statistically significant predictor in that study in JAD that I showed you of microinvasion. There were also some other differences, but not with statistical power. So it's quite reliable predictor of microinvasion. Another question which I find interesting in the chat is concerning the possible use of imiquimod for non-lentigo maligna melanomas, but for superficial spreading melanomas, since we know that there are also very, very slow-growing superficial spreading melanomas. Is there any data or any evidence, or at least any reasoning that we could use imiquimod for other melanoma subtypes? I would say we don't have any data on it.
No.
And also, do you think that, which is your gut feeling? I mean,
my gut feeling is that really it could be one case every 5 years, you know what I mean? And by the way, it happened to us because a patient refused a treatment, you know? So since the patient didn't want to get the lesion removed, then we convinced him to use the cream. And by the way, we got good results. So there is a logic behind, but of course, I mean, removing a lesion on the arm or on the back or
much easier.
It's very easy. So
by the way, we have no data about superficial spreading melanoma. We do have some data, very few, of course, about melanoma stage 3. Cutaneous metastasis of melanoma that cannot be treated in any other way, and imiquimod was used, of course, as a palliative treatment in the absence of any other option in the past, before the era of immunotherapy. And it seemed to provoke some kind of reaction and some kind of response in some patients. But these are very few data that we cannot that cannot support a regular use of imiquimod for any other subtype.
And it's funny that you mentioned this, because we studied one of these patients with satellite, so melanoma with satellite metastasis, so stage 3, who went brilliant. It was like a miracle. So everything gone completely with the use of imiquimod. And we studied quite a lot this patient, and we found something very peculiar, which is a little bit long, but really to summarize, it's a special type of melanoma with special type of genetic alterations, which could be responding pretty well to imiquimod.
Exactly. There is again the question about the application. Let's repeat it once again. It's 7 days per week, so every day for 6 weeks in case you do it in the adjuvant setting, so after surgery. For long periods, if you do it as a monotherapy, in cases that surgery cannot be performed. Okay, yes, we mean stage 3 melanoma. Stage 3 melanoma with cutaneous metastases.
Satellites or in transit.
We are speaking about the era before immunotherapy. Of course, now in this stage there is indication for immunotherapy. Of course, we cannot exclude a positive synergistic action. So we cannot exclude that in addition to immunotherapy, a local immunomodulator like imiquimod could theoretically add some additional benefit, but this is only a hypothesis that needs to be checked. If we have ever used imiquimod as a neoadjuvant, probably it means neoadjuvant.
Neoadjuvant, yeah, sometimes it happens. Yeah.
There is also a nice publication on it from US, and they report quite similar results to the one that we found in the adjuvant setting, so that we have a good proportion of tumors disappearing completely, and the great majority of the tumors becomes smaller in size.
Yeah. Wonderful. Great. Emilio, but I'm very sorry that you are not drinking anything. This is something which...
Maybe this is why the system collapsed.
Yes, exactly. Think about it. Don't be polite. Yeah. So, but don't you think it's time to look at the podcast and introducing our guest?
Absolutely. Well, maybe first introduce our guest, or first look at the podcast?
In my view, let's introduce first our guest. Go ahead.
Me? Okay.
Yes.
So we are in the, very happy situation and very pleasant situation to introduce today in Dermoscopy Happy Hour, Harald Kittler.
Ciao, Harald.
Hi, Harald.
Ciao. Can you hear me?
Yes, very good.
Yeah. Excellent. Good to see you both.
Good to see you. I'm very jealous about your painting in the background. Wow.
Well, it's a melanoma.
I was sure about it.
It's invasive. There's a lot of
invasive. Yeah, it's invasive. Very good. So, Harald, so you are not drinking, because this is supposed to be Dermoscopy Happy Hour. Of course, we don't want to our audience to to think that we are let's say not very political, but this happy hour means the time of the day when you drink a little bit of wine or a little bit of beer. Maybe you, as an Austrian, tell us about your relationship with beer. Not too much, right?
No, not too much. No,
not too much.
You gain weight when you drink beer, but wine is better.
Yes. Very good. So, Seppi, maybe we can launch the podcast that we selected. Yes. So,
hello, friends of Dermatoscopy. This podcast is about flat pigmented facial lesions, and we will.
Harald, I love your let's say formal voice. It's really
difficult to tell them apart. This could be lentigo maligna, but it could also be pigmented actinic keratosis or lichen planus-like keratosis.
You see?
This could be lentigo maligna, but it could also be pigmented actinic keratosis or lichen planus-like keratosis.
Yeah, it's very nice. The voice is also
very professional. It's like the new CNN.
So let's just remind everybody that every week, in addition to the other things we discuss, we remind one of the many available IDS podcasts, and we recommend to the attendees to watch them. They will learn a lot of things. They will find a lot of information. This week, the one that we suggest and the one that we would like to remind is this great podcast done by Harald on the very tough differential diagnosis between flat pigmented macules on the face. You can find it on the IDS channels on YouTube and watch the whole podcast with great clues to differentiate among these lesions. Harald, do you think that do we eventually have a nice way to tell them apart?
Yes, as usual, there are many ways. I'm just a little bit concerned about the podcast. Is it this quality? I hope it is better.
No, of course not.
It's much better. No.
Much.
Yeah.
No.
But we can stop showing the podcast.
Yes, please, because
it will just to remind the people that they can find there and to recommend them to watch it. So Harald, go ahead.
No. Many groups published on this, and you, Aimilios and Geppi, I think you published the best way to treat flat pigmented lesions on the face, which is the inverse approach. I do not have to repeat it now, but I think it's the best way to skin this cat. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. So today, in general, we are discussing a lot about lentigo maligna. I don't know if you joined early and you saw the discussion on imiquimod as an adjuvant treatment mainly, but also as an alternative treatment for lentigo maligna. What's your comment on this? Which is your idea about using imiquimod in combination with conservative surgery in order to avoid extensive surgical operations?
Well, I liked very much your comment about that we should treat lentigo maligna as a not very aggressive tumor, and I love this treatment. Imiquimod for lentigo maligna, especially in elderly patients where surgery is complicated. I think the next step would be to make it not an off-label, but a treatment that is available not only off-label, but it is a labeled treatment, so to speak. This would be the next step, which should require a randomized trial. This would be perfect.
But you know that in my estimation, usually I'm an optimistic guy, but in this case, I'm not optimistic because, of course, this depends a lot about the company commercializing the cream, and unfortunately none of the 2-3 companies are interested in investing in this indication.
I see. That's a pity, because I know that, or I guess maybe some of the participants can write something in the chat. I think the main obstacle is it's an off-label treatment. If it would be not off-label, we would use it much more often. Are there any comments about this in the chat? If this is a major obstacle?
Yeah, but I don't know, because there are many comments in the chat. I didn't see any comment saying so, but this is absolutely reasonable. This would be a very reasonable reaction that, okay, it's a nice idea, but how can I do it? Since it's not...
Exactly. Michele is saying, yes, this is correct. Yes, I agree. Of course. I mean, especially because, I mean, if you work in a public institution like we do, it's easier, right? Let's say so. While if you work in your private office, it's a little bit too complicated to, maybe I'm wrong, but this is at least my feeling.
Yeah. Of course, the adjuvant use is a little bit easier because it's following surgery. So you do what you theoretically have to do based on the official guide, which is to excise the tumor, and you apply it afterwards. So it's easier, let's say, as compared to the use of imiquimod as an alternative to surgery, which is much more problematic and is restricted only for cases which are, for some reason, inoperable. By the way, Sebastiano, let's remove the podcast so that we don't need to see this image. Okay.
Exactly.
Great. And now, Geppi, please go on with other kind of questions to Harald.
Yes, Harald, just a couple of questions that we are interested a lot about it. Tell us, what is in your view, your biggest achievement in your professional career?
Well, where does this question come from? Out of the blue. And I have to give a quick answer.
Hey.
Now, my biggest achievement, I don't know, maybe a
paper or
no, not a paper. That I was able to teach many students and become friends with them. I think I love to be a teacher and to be generous with teaching, be generous with material, be generous with time. I think I understood that has to come from inside. It cannot be played. And you two guys are also examples, I think. So this, I think, is an achievement of mine that I'm proud of.
I agree completely, don't you, Emilio? This is one of our best moments, when we can share with other people our experiences and I love this answer. Emilio, do you like to
you want me to ask the difficult questions and you ask the easy ones? That's why. Because the question usually following the biggest success is the question about your biggest failure. So something that you think that you didn't do it in the way that you could have done it. From a scientific perspective, of course, not from a personal one. Maybe, No,
this is also a tough one. Biggest failure. I have so many failures, but my biggest failure probably was to be streamlined too long. So I wasn't always this critical guy I'm now to you. I did swallow quite a lot, which means that I lost many years of my life without being critical enough to find things more interesting, to go with the mainstream, to not question things that I didn't understand. I think I lost many years with that, and my advice would be critical and don't believe everything you hear from the beginning. Be critical and use your brain. And there are so many things out there that sound like truth and truism because they come from big people, but it's just that they have a big mouth.
I love it. That's very, very good. Very good. Let's be critical.
So your answers are so nice that
but not too much. Otherwise, the risk is to become negationist. So
no, that is. I'm sure there is an objective truth out there. Critical means that not that there is always relativism, that you can relativate everything. There is an objective truth, and some opinions are better than others. It's not everything the same. So this is very important.
Yeah.
Harald, how do you see 20 years from now? How do you see dermoscopy?
Well, that's a good question.
Today being in the center of interest concerning teaching, research-wise, which is your prediction 20 years from now?
Hopefully without me and hopefully without us. And my prediction will be it will be on the planet, of course. Everybody will use it. And, I hope that it will not only become the stethoscope of dermatology, which is already the case. I hope there will also be some, basic research done with dermatoscopy, and imaging will get more sophisticated. I hope that the dermatoscope in the future doesn't look like the dermatoscope we have now. We have something more fancier. By the way, I hate that I have to use my hands when I use the dermatoscope. I would like to have to use my dermatoscope without using my hands, to have my hands free, for example.
Something,
glasses.
Yeah, something like this. I hope that the dermatoscopes in the future will look different than they are now, and that we can get some support with whatever intelligence there is. And yeah, I'm curious to see it. If I will still be on this planet, I will be curious to see it.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
The last question.
No, well, no more questions. Otherwise, we go too much private. So it's better to keep it professional.
Maybe only one.
Say it.
Which is your favorite wine?
Yes.
My favorite wine is the one that I drink with you.
Okay. Very good. So you are drinking a Sauvignon. This was a Sauvignon. Yeah. Excellent. Nice. Okay, but stay with us, because I suppose that Emilio prepared some cases for the last quiz. You know, we are going to close with a quiz, right?
We are going to try a game for the audience. We will play together. So Harald, stay with us to see the game, and maybe, if possible, to see also the winner of the game. It's the first time that we will try to do it live. It's possible that something will go wrong, but I'm sure that you will excuse us even in this case. So what I would like to ask you to do, to the audience, now, is to use your smartphones, not your computer, and open a browser like Safari, Mozilla, whichever, and go there, www.kahoot.it, okay, with your smartphones, not with your computer, okay? So please do it, and as soon as you do it, you will be asked to complete a game pin. And this is what you're going to complete there. The pin will appear now on our screens. Here is the pin. And when you do it, you will choose a nickname. It does not have to be your real name, whatever you like. Just be able to remember which is the nickname you used. And then when you do it, you will appear on the screen. Here we are.
Lore, yes. Wow, many. Wow.
Here we have our
beautiful.
Our game is launching. So we will see together 5 cases, which are not 5 random cases. These are 5 cases from last week. I selected one from each day of the last week. The most tricky, the one that was, that was a little bit more challenging. Okay, and we will play with these lesions, and we see among 85, 86, 100 people playing. We will eventually have a winner, and if the winner likes, and if Sebastiano can do it, the winner can also appear on screen together with us, just to congratulate her or him, and to say to finish the episode all together. So let's wait just 30 more seconds, because I see that still people are joining. Wow,
we have more than 120.
Yeah, 120. Okay. 125. So let's count down from 10 to 0. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So the game starts, and it will be easy to understand how it goes. You will vote via your telephone, via your smartphone. So that's the first case appearing on your screen, and you vote with your smartphone for the correct answer. Okay, you have 20 seconds to vote.
Maybe you can put your Safari full screen now.
Why isn't this well seen?
No, it's okay.
It's okay. So perfect. We have many answers. Among them, the majority voted the correct answer, which was squamous cell carcinoma. And look now what happens. Of course, all these voted correctly. The difference in the points is because of the time to response, because also the quick response gets additional points. So here are the first 5 for the moment. And now we go to the case. This was the Monday case. It was a tough squamous cell carcinoma. Now we go to Tuesday. This is what I saw on Tuesday, and I found quite interesting.
What kind of nevus? Aha. Aha.
Clear cell nevus.
Clear cell nevus is very interesting. Giant cell nevus, balloon, spindle. Aha. Interesting
choices.
Yes.
I think that here we will have a big 50% approximately.
Say.
Found it. Yeah, balloon cell nevus with these nice yellow clouds in the this characteristic pattern. Very good. Let's see what's going on now with the scoring. You see how much it changes because of the time. Yeah, of the time.
Let's say that for the moment the winner is 1, 2, 3. Which is very, very general, very generic.
Yes. But we have 3 more lesions, and very probably you see all the 5 names here are different from the previous 5 names.
Yes.
So it's a lot of fun. The next one, I think, it's the most tough one. Wednesday was a bad day. So let's see the case. So irritated seborrheic keratosis, basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, or nevus. Don't you agree, Harald and Geppi?
Yes. I have an answer, but I'm not very confident. By the way, Naples was scoring 1 goal. Just to let you know. You know how you know it? Because I can hear the voice of the people in the street. Oh.
Very good. So I thought that it was more tough.
Look at this. I mean, in this regard, 73%. Wow.
73%. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. With numerous hairpin and glomerular vessels all over the lesion. It was not an easy one, but you got it. And let's see what's going on here. Wow. 1, 2, 3 retained the first place. And who is Geppi?
Geppi is not Geppi.
Not Geppi.
No.
Nice. Okay. Let's go to Thursday. 4th case, the case of Thursday. Which is your diagnosis? That's also not easy.
No, this is much more tough, I would say.
Angioma, melanoma, Kaposi sarcoma, or basal cell carcinoma.
This is very tough, I would say.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's true.
Let's see. Kaposi. Very tough, I would say.
Very tough. Yeah, although the colors of the vascular tumors were present, this purple color and this bluish and whitish, but of course, definitely melanoma could be an option. If you focus only on the dermatoscopic morphology, it's reasonable that melanoma could be an option, definitely. However, 35 were able to find it correct, which is great. And let's see here what's going on. You
Dina,
wow. 15 players just dropped their answer streak of 3.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And the last case, which will, based on which we will have the final winner, is the case of Friday, which is the diagnosis. Okay. So it's the melanoma, angioma, Bowen's disease, or basal cell carcinoma. I would say that this is possibly the easiest, or not.
This is easy in my view, at least if it's true what I think.
Yes. Oh, wow. That was
majority Bowen's. Majority voted for Bowen's. Yeah. But the erosions is the key point, right? The clue is the presence of multiple erosions.
Erosions is a clue for basal cell carcinoma. Keratin is a clue for Bowen's disease. Obviously, there is an overlap, but erosions are much more compatible with BCC. Great. Are we ready to see? So now we will see the podium. Look what happens. Third place. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Bravo.
Second place,
Penelope Cruz.
And SG.
SG. No, now we have to know who is SG. Come on. SG, can you write in the chat your name so we can find it? We can find you, and then we are able to put you in the position to join us.
If you like SG, reveal yourself, send us an SMS, and we can see your face, we can congratulate you live, and then we can finish the episode all together. So, it was fun, no?
It was really fun, let me tell you. We are, comparing to the previous episodes, we are technically improving, Emilio? Our director was doing a great job. Seppi, bravo. Bravo, Seppi. Bravo. And Harald, it was very good to see you. By the way, we are going to meet each other very soon. I look forward to see you very soon. And what else? Was SG showing up? I don't think so.
SG, we didn't find SG, but I think that Sebastiano says that we can find Penelope. If we can find Penelope, that's fine. That's great. It's just only to congratulate her. And until that moment, let's remind to everybody that you can find on YouTube, on our channel on YouTube, this episode recorded as well as the previous episodes and also the next episodes, obviously. Every Sunday at 7 o'clock Central European Time, we will be here. Harald, thank you very, very much. Once again, it was a great pleasure. It was great that you were not prepared about the answers, because your answers were really exceptional. So, I mean, instinctively exceptional. Thank you so much. Do we have somebody?
By the way, we have Pascal. Pascal joining us.
Pascal?
We don't know if Pascal is SG or Penelope.
Yeah,
Can you activate your microphone and we can hear your voice?
And your camera also.
Yes, of course, your camera, if you like.
No, I don't see any reaction.
No, I don't see reactions. Va bene, ragazzi. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. At the moment, we are 230 something. And it was really great. I mean, I had a lot of fun. And Emilio, thank you. Harald, thank you. See you next Sunday, 7 p.m. Chat. CET. Un bacione.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Ciao.